We've both come into this and chosen each other to be as we are and to be our best friends. And I think that is when I knew that that's what I want the rest of my life to be like.
Firstly, many, many congratulations. And let me remind you, this was the place where I first interviewed you 18 years ago when you had become Miss World.
Yeah, I remember coming to this hotel.
And it was me, yeah, we've known each other that long.
Oh my god, yeah, it was this hotel. It was the first time I saw my name in a billboard.
No way.
Yeah, when I was 18. Remember outside it says Taj welcome to Priyanka Chopra. And I was like, whoa. That might be famous.
And you've come a long way, and I mean, applause.
I know.
And someone who's known to pack in like 72 hours in a day, it's only Priyanka Chopra who, I think 24 hours after her wedding would be here, doing business as usual.
It's remarkable.
Honestly.
I mean, it's really impressive.
So
I've never met a business person that can.
you actually need to devise an app that's called, Keeping Up with Priyanka Chopra.
It's the next big idea.
There, I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, since we're talking about Bumble, by the women, of the women, for the women.
For everyone.
For everyone, not only just the women. So what made you decide to associate yourself with Bumble, seeing the other apps also are there in the market?
Well, first of all, I want to start the differentiation right here. Bumble is not just a dating app.
Okay.
Everybody keeps comparing it to Tinder and like all of these other apps. I'll tell you the difference right now. One, Bumble makes women the precedent. Like a woman makes the first move. So it is created by incredible women for everyone who wants to date, who wants to network in their business. We have a vertical of the app. Like once you download Bumble, you have 3 verticals. One is business, one is BFF, and one is Bumble for Love. So between these 3 verticals, you can choose what aspect of your life you want to have a vertical in. Like now that I'm married, I'm not going to be on the dating app.
Exactly.
So I will only be on, I'll delete that from my app and I'll only be on Bumble Biz and Bumble BFF. So that way it caters to everyone that would want any sort of expansion in any aspect of their lives, and especially in business and BFF. We had met at the Bumble Biz launch in the US, New York?
Yes.
In New York last year. And when they were all talking about it, Whitney was giving this amazing speech, and I don't know, she came and sat next to me at dinner, and I told her, I was like, this would work, I think, so well for the urban Indian woman. Because I feel, as an urban Indian woman who lives in India and in the US, I feel like there have been, around the world, choices have always been made for women. If not made for us, we've been nudged in the direction of whatever the choice society has decided is right and appropriate for us. Whereas Bumble gives us the opportunity to make our choices of our own lives within the security and safety of our own homes on our own cell phones. So I just think that the expansion of that there's such an empowerment of that for women all over the country to be able to go and explore, to be curious. Just start with curiosity. Start with, all right, you had this idea for your business. You like to do, make like, I just saw this incredible business that was created by a woman in, it was a village in Madhya Pradesh somewhere. She used to do sewing and arts and craft and make little like pouches. And she put her business up online and now has like hundreds and thousands of dollars ka business, and she doesn't even speak a word of English.
Wow.
But she had this idea and she put that idea online and converted it into a business. So I'm saying there are so many women out there with so much inside of them. And this gives you the ability to just explore that. And from there, you never know what your life can be.
True. But have you ever been on dating apps before you found the one? And what was the experience like?
I actually did just once for a certain time, and actually met a guy and went out with him too, from a dating app, because a friend of mine, I was doing a movie with this friend of mine, and both of us were single, and we both decided to get onto this dating app.
I'm crossing my fingers it was Bumble. If you say it's another one, I'm going to cry.
But it did happen, and I did go out with the guy, but he was just like really full of himself, so I got bored. But that was all that happened on the dating app with me.
And they usually say, you know, as you said, women don't make the first move. And
right.
how are the dynamics changing, social networking dynamics changing? And you in an interview had said, you know, it's a gender problem, and also the tech industry, also you can't blame them. There is a gender issue right here. And women are also wary of being on dating apps and on social networking sites as well.
Well, if you think about it, technology is just an effort and a learned behavior of humans. Humans are creating the technology that we use. And if you think about every main scale, large scale social platform that people use around the world, the only one founded and led by women is Bumble. So how can you expect a company, a product, a team that is engineered by men to ever meet the needs of women if women were never invited into the equation?
True, right.
You know, traditionally, and not so archaically because it's been happening even very recently, women were not included in the product syncs, in the development syncs. So here you've had these projects being built by men with the intention of satisfying men, yet they're trying to acquire women to use their products. So Bumble from the onset is so different because it has stemmed from a very personal place in my life. I was never ever told to make the first move in my life. If I thought a boy was cute, you were meant to sit back and wait for him to text. I remember agonizing because once in college I sent a message to a boy I thought was cute and my friends gave me such a hard time that I cried and felt guilt for days. This is how we've been raised. It doesn't matter if we're in India or United States. This is a global issue that standards have been really formulated around women not having power. And so when you rewrite that from a woman's perspective, you make it better for everyone. The issue with online abuse and bad behavior, this is something that touches so many millions of women and men around the world, and it's all this, you know, chaotic behavior around rejection. And Bumble eliminates rejection. You don't feel rejected on Bumble, you feel included, you feel that there is opportunity for you. And so if you're joining to find a date, you're in control. If you're joining for a friend, you're in control. You are in control of your experience, and it's just better for everyone.
And how do you feel, both of you, I mean, an Indian who's living in the US now, and you are from the US, what's the difference in the way the Indians use, the millennials use social networking sites and dating apps?
I think, I mean, I'd probably be able to give you a little bit more
Yeah,
perspective
please.
than
Yes.
Whitney on that, considering I live in both. I feel like culturally, both countries are extremely different. It's the cultural norms that exist that make the experience of a social network completely different. In India, we have cultural norms that don't allow us to maybe date as much, or we get into relationships more. We get into meeting people who we know are friends of friends, or we've met by family. So, and culturally in America, you date, you know, many people, and you decide who you want to be with or you don't. So I'm just saying culturally it's sort of different, but now I think what we're talking about with Bumble is giving everyone the opportunity to take charge of their own future, which is what the world should be like. Young people today, India being one of the youngest countries in the world, about 60% of us is under the age of 35 today.
Yeah.
And that huge number needs empowerment. You know what Whitney was just saying about how social norms have taken away the power of women. Like, for example, her feeling guilty about having sent a message to a boy. We are told that it's for your protection that we're doing it. It's so that it's better for you. You know, the boy should make the first move. It's the guy who should walk in. It's the guy who should ask the parents. The guy who should. It's for your benefit. But I feel like if you think about it, social conditioning has made us feel it's for our benefit, but hasn't it taken away our power
True.
to choose and decide what our
Absolutely.
lives should be?
True.
And that's what Bumble is shifting on its head. It's gonna be, whenever there's a revolution, there's always resistance.
True.
And there might be to this as well, and we're aware of it. But what Bumble is doing is giving you the ability to empower yourself and the people around you to think differently.
True.
So that society starts thinking differently. And I think that would be extremely important for my kids whenever I have them, to raise them in an environment where they feel powerful enough to take their own choices.
So have you both been, disguised yourself and been on dating apps to see how they work?
I can't, nor can she.
You know, but the beauty is, I use Bumble all the time.
Yeah.
And not for dating.
Yeah,
I'm married
just
as
to-
well.
Last night
and-
you did it.
Yeah, I was on it last night on BFF. I've been speaking to incredible Indian women who live in the city, and I'm asking, hey, what's your favorite coffee shop? What's the best place to do this? What's the best place? There's no better way to connect with not only people, but places through incredible new people. And I really, truly believe that everything in our life comes down to the connections and the relationships that we have.
True.
We all need relationships. It's what everything surrounds. Everything surrounds relationships. And what better way to live than with healthy relationships?
Absolutely.
And you know, when one party has the power, that's not a healthy relationship. So Bumble really puts confidence and empowerment and accountability into the hands of women, which makes it better for men as well. And I really think a very important note is this world that is so young, as Priyanka said, is becoming so disconnected. We are becoming so reliant on technology, and we are becoming so antisocial. And that's what's so special about Bumble is this might start as a digital connection, but it turns into a physical one. It turns into somebody to go to dinner with, or to go build your future business with, or to go on a girls trip with, or to find the love of your life. That is what this facilitates, where social media is actually quite alienating.
What etiquettes would you tell people, you know, what etiquettes should they prescribe to when they're on apps like these?
Well, etiquettes would be good at all, first of all. That would be great. I mean, I would say that to anyone on social media, absolutely. Maybe you should think about what you write. But I think, like, listen, what I always say is be compassionate and be real. Be your authentic self, and that's most important. People spend too much time worrying about what everyone's going to think, how many likes they get, what are the comments that they're getting.
Yeah, our lives
that we
actually.
engineer our pictures and we engineer what we're putting out on social to get the kind of, you know, validation that we want. Whereas what I would always say is just be yourself, be your authentic self, and see and find what's out there in the world that love you for who you are. And that's such an incredible power.
And how would women know that he is the one, since dating is a big, because people don't get time to socialize. Dating apps are the only way you're going to hook up with someone. So how, I mean, for someone who's just got married, what would you tell a woman? How would she know that he is the one?
Well, everyone will have a different experience. I'm pretty sure that Whitney's would be different than mine, would be different than yours. I can only speak from, first of all, you can't go into an experience thinking you're going to find the one instantly. You have to be curious. You have to see, explore, you know, you have to explore the waters, see how you feel, the temperature, how a person is, how they react to you. Are they all right with you being yourself? To me, the most important thing, and how I knew he was the one, was that everything that I stood for and everything that I am, whether it's being a working woman who works 2 days after her wedding, or,
Exactly.
or
Perfect example.
I mean, amazing.
or someone who travels all around the world and, you know, is never in one place, or, you know, likes to sleep 12 hours when I get the ability to.
When was
I was
it?
going to say, when have
I
you
know.
had
was it
12
last?
hours?
When I get a day
Yeah,
off, I can do
12
12
hours.
hours. I can. But I'm saying he's all right with me doing all of that and more. There is no, we both have come into, and I am with him.
Yeah.
We've both come into this and chosen each other to be as we are and to be our best friends. And I think that is when I knew that that's what I want the rest of my life to be like.
And for someone who's so single, your own person, fiercely independent, to sharing all that with someone, what are your thoughts?
I'm still fiercely independent, and so is he, and we love that about each other.
And that's what makes them amazing. That's
Yeah.
a good relationship.
true.
We're absolutely fine with
Yeah.
that. We are bonded extremely closely, but we both know our work has always been our rock for us, and how important it is to both of us, and we respect each other for that. So that's when you know. That's when you know you have someone who's your partner.
Yeah.
And
don't
what-
join Bumble as a half. You
Yeah.
don't search for your second half in this
Yeah.
world. You join as your whole self. You bring your whole self to the
That is
table.
so important.
And then you find the counterpart to that. And two is stronger than one.
And what's that one thing that you would recommend Bumble for? One thing. I mean, there are a whole lot of things that we could get onto Bumble for, but that one thing.
Honestly, having found this out the hard way, you are the 5 people in your life that you surround yourself with. That is who you become. Humans are creatures of habit. If you are not surrounded with positive friends, positive romantic relationship, positive business contacts, your life is going to disintegrate. So get on to find those 5 people, whatever they might be. If they're all in business, all in friendship, or if it's the one love of your life, just be with good people. And Bumble really is the way to do that.
There's one question I always ask you when we meet is singer, actor, producer, now investor, what next?
Writer? I'm writing a book.
Oh yeah, I'm tired just thinking about this.
That's next, but I don't know. I've never planned my life, Pooja. You've known me since I was 17, 18 years old. I've always been someone who is very instinctive. I live my life according to what I'm doing right now, and while living life, I'll hear of something that I might want to do, and then I'll start doing that. And I just like to create different things. So I don't know where life will take me, but I'm pretty sure it'll be new things very often because I get bored.
Since you're going to be launching How to Keep Up with Priyanka Chopra, how does one keep up with you?
I should have like a YouTube show.
Actually, you
You
really
should. You should.
All right, well, there are certain
Sounds too close to keeping up with the Kardashians. I'm just one. They have like 5.
I mean, you're one, but
pretty
you have the
busy.
energy of how many? Whitney?
1,000. I've never seen anything
How do you
quite
keep
like
up with her?
she's a superhero.
Oh,
she's a superhero.
stop, you guys.
Truly, she's very inspiring. No, really.
You've kept up with me for 18 years. I'm pretty sure you'll keep up with me for 18 more.
I'm looking forward to 18 and 18 after that when you come with your kids and you know.
She will have landed on the moon by then and done all sorts of, colonized a new planet.
I would love to colonize a new
There you
planet.
go. There's the answer. That's what she's going to
That's
do.
a good plan. I need to think about that one.
And what do you see the future of dating apps in a society that's so hooked onto the phones? Now you also have an app. You're going to be attached to that. What is the future of dating apps?
You mean people are...
I mean, on apps, basically our whole life revolves around our phone and the apps that we download. What do you think is the future?
Well, for Bumble, I know the future is thinking about the physical realm as well. So as we go more digital, our mission is to make sure people are having true connection and in empowered, good, safe ways. So we're building out in the next year so many different physical touch points of our brand. And we've already experimented with that, launching physical spaces, hives. Many people in the digital space thought we were lunatics for ever trying to leave this incredible, business model of having very low cost of services and being able to attract millions of people. But it's not about that. It's about bringing people together. And so if Bumble's mission is truly to end misogyny and bring the world closer together, then I really, truly believe the future is both digital but back to physical. Because there's no replacement for physical interaction.
Absolutely, and that's what we are lacking in our lives. And
I kind of disagree. I feel like you have... The world is all about evolution. Human beings are all about evolution. We're living in the digital world. The quicker we recognize it, the quicker we won't be left behind. The idea is that there are
Told you
kids...
she's colonizing a new planet.
There are kids that are born into this world who've never known life without a cell phone.
absolutely.
Whose existence will be the internet, who will know the internet more than they would know a book.
Absolutely.
Now it is up to us as people to introduce that generation with things that we find amazing, experiences, which will make them want to put their phone down and experience what we do. But you have an entire virtual world in your hands, and let's not at all fight it, because it's not going anywhere.
No.
It's not the future, it's the present.
Absolutely. And so speaking to good times, what's your idea for good time?
My idea of a good time is a robe and a movie and ice cream at the moment. But it's
Yeah,
going
I was
to
gonna
be-
say a nap probably sounds
A
like a
nap
good
would be
time right
great.
now.
That she won't.
I know, she doesn't probably.
I think
doesn't-
she's got something else lined up, and before the year ends, she'll be doing something absolutely different.
No, really to me, a good time is just having friends and family. It's my favorite thing to do, like a house full of people bustling and like people sitting on couches, movie happening, someone hanging out. Like that's literally what the last week has been for us. And it just feels like Diwali or Christmas every day. And I love that. That's my favorite version of a good time.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. I
Thank
know you
you.
don't make resolutions, but 2019, any resolution?
Well, I'm starting a very new chapter in my life, and I would like to be able to find a perfect balance between the work that I've always been so driven to do and my marriage. And I'd like to be able to figure out how so many incredible women around the world manage it, like this one.
I'm asking her. And she got married a couple days ago.
But honestly, thank you so much. And once again, heartiest congratulations from all of us.
Thank you.
You looked stunning, and all the very best for the
Thank you.
new chapter. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.